A grand jury in West Baton Rouge Parish, that's just across the river from where I live in East Baton Rouge Parish, has issued an indictment, an arrest warrant. The grand jury has issued an indictment, and the district attorney has issued an arrest warrant for a New York doctor for issuing abortion drugs to the mother of a pregnant minor. Now, notably, the mother did not travel from Louisiana to New York. Rather, she received the abortion chemicals after making an online request. They came through the mail. Right? This is the Biden-era policy that remains in place. So how can it be that a doctor in New York provided abortion access to a state where the procedure has been outlawed? And what are the implications of this case? Here to give us the details on this case, Louisiana State Senator Thomas Presley, whose bill, Senate Bill 276, made Louisiana the first state to classify abortion pills as controlled dangerous substances, which is what this case is about. Senator Presley, welcome back to Washington Watch. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks so much for having me on, Tony. I appreciate it.
So give us the facts of this case.
Sure. So what happened in this case is that the mother of a pregnant teenager conspired with a New York doctor to obtain chemical abortion pills in the mail. They were then given to the teenager who did not want to have an abortion in order to induce that abortion to occur.
Now, was she aware that she was given these pills?
She was aware, but she had also already planned a party to announce the gender of the baby, and was very excited to have the baby, is what I've been told. Mm-hmm. But the mother of that teenager worked with the New York State doctor to conspire to force the teenager to have an abortion using chemical abortion pills.
Now, this is let me just stop you right there, because this is very similar to the reason that you actually introduced this law, was it not?
Yeah, I initially introduced the law because my brother-in-law at the time, unbeknownst to my sister, chose to grind up a misoprostol bill, place it in a drink that my sister was having, a glass of water, and tried on 7 different occasions to try to kill my now 2.5-year-old niece, Josephine. Catherine was able to recognize what was going on, realized that when she was having a medical emergency that she could take the abortion reversing pill, which she did, and was able to save the life of my niece.
So this is almost a casebook, a classic case of what you were trying to prevent with this mother getting this for a teenager. Now, this could also happen with those who traffic, young people, minors, in sex trafficking, and they try to cover it up by getting these abortion pills contrary to their own desires. So let's talk about this. The grand jury issued an indictment. Arrest warrant has been issued. Where does it stand now?
Yeah, so I spoke with the DA, Tony Clayton, this morning, as well as with Attorney General Merle about where we are. And we have, according to the Attorney General, as well as the DA, an arrest warrant has been issued for the doctor in New York. And we are awaiting New York to do its duty under the Constitution and arrest the doctor. Based on the conversation that the governor of New York has had publicly, it does not sound like she will be willing to do that. However, if this doctor were to travel to any other state that would be willing to extradite the doctor, then Louisiana will do everything we can to extradite the doctor to the state in order for her to face the criminal charges that she is currently facing.
So just for the benefit of our listeners, as a former police officer, what would be happening? She's driving down the interstate in some other state, maybe, who knows where she might travel to for vacation. She's stopped for speeding. They run her driver's license, and it comes back that she has a warrant for her arrest that's outstanding in Louisiana. They would arrest her, hold her, contact Louisiana officials, say, hey, we have such and such. You have a warrant. Do you want her? And that's how it works.
There's a national database that all warrants go into, and police officers are able to use that information in order to determine if a state would extradite someone that's facing criminal charges to that state. And in Louisiana, we certainly would be interested in prosecuting this doctor, which is why the the indictment was made in the first place.
So, Senator Presley, let me ask you this question. So the FDA removed the in-person medical consultation that had been in place for mifepristone for many years. And then the Department of Justice under the Biden administration said that the Comstock law does not apply to abortion pills, and therefore they can be sent through the mail. Now, that policy remains in place that the Biden administration enacted. So a state like Louisiana that has pro-life laws, they're almost, they're circumvented by this policy that's currently in place, allowing abortion pills to be mailed into the state.
Yeah, this policy needs to be changed. And in this instance, again, Tony, one of the fascinating parts is the child, the teenager that was pregnant, didn't even have the consultation with this New York-based doctor. It was her mother that actually had the consultation and was able to get the pills. So, it's even worse than not having having a medical telemedicine consultation. There was no consultation at all that I'm aware of. But no question that the laws in the country need to be changed in order for states' rights in the 10th Amendment to take effect on this issue regarding abortion. And Louisiana is a pro-life state. There's no question about that. And we want to have abortion illegal in this state. And the current federal policies are not allowing that to occur.
Senator, I have a feeling this is not the end of this law in this case. I think this is something that could end up before the Supreme Court.
I think you're exactly right. I would be very surprised if this doesn't end up before the Supreme Court. And I trust Attorney General Merle to use her team at the Attorney General's office to ensure that Louisiana puts on a important 10th Amendment case, and in a case that's state rights. And we need to ensure that the full faith and credit clause of the United States Constitution is in effect, and that the state of New York turns over this doctor who has committed a crime in Louisiana.
Well, Senator Presley, I want to thank you for joining us today, and I want to thank you for your pro-life stand. You're representing Louisiana quite well, and we're grateful for it.
Thank you, Tony. I appreciate you having me on today.
Absolutely.